Here's something interesting happening quietly inside India's solar industry. For years, Indian companies depended heavily on China for the most critical parts of solar manufacturing, not just raw materials, but the actual heart of the solar panel itself. Which meant, even if demand exploded in India, a large part of the profits still flowed outside the country. But now a few companies are trying to change that story, and one of them is EMMVEE Photovoltaic, a Bengaluru-based solar company that most retail investors barely discussed a year ago, but today is growing rapidly, expanding aggressively, and slowly moving deeper into the solar manufacturing chain. And the fascinating part? Even after massive profit growth, the stock still trades around 17 PE. So the big question is this just another temporary solar cycle story? Or is EMMVEE slowly building something much larger for the next decade? Today we'll break down the business, Q4 results, management commentary, valuation, technicals, and the integration strategy that could completely reshape this company by 2030. But before we begin, quick disclaimer before we proceed. This video is purely for educational and informational purposes. This is not a stock recommendation or investment advice. Stock markets involve risk. Please do your own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Now, with that out of the way, let's understand why EMMVEE is suddenly attracting so much attention. EMMVEE started in 2007. For many years, it quietly operated in the background while bigger names dominated market attention. But while others focused mainly on assembling modules, EMMVEE kept investing in manufacturing capability. Today, the company operates 5 facilities in Karnataka. Current manufacturing capacity 10.3 gigawatts modules, 2.94 gigawatts solar cells. Now, this distinction matters enormously because most solar companies in India mainly assemble modules using imported cells. EMMVEE manufactures the cells too. And in solar manufacturing, that changes the economics of the business completely. Think of it like this. A normal module assembler operates in a highly competitive business with limited pricing power. But once a company starts manufacturing cells internally, margins improve significantly. That is exactly why EMMVEE already operates at around 34% EBITDA margins, far higher than many traditional assemblers. And the company is not slowing down. By fiscal year 27, module capacity expected to rise to 16.3 gigawatts, cell capacity expected to rise to 8.9 gigawatts. That's not small expansion. That's the company positioning itself as one of India's major integrated solar manufacturers. Why technology matters? There's another important detail here. Solar manufacturing evolves very fast. Technology that looks advanced today can become outdated within a few years. Many older manufacturers still operate on previous generation PRC technology. But EMMVEE has already transitioned into TOPCon technology. TOPCon cells are more efficient and increasingly becoming the global standard, which means the company is not just adding capacity, it is trying to stay technologically relevant as well. That's critical in manufacturing businesses, because expansion without technology leadership eventually becomes a commodity business. Now let's talk about the financial transformation. This is where the story starts becoming difficult to ignore. Over the last few years, Patsagre 158% ROE, above 56%. Bid-day margins around 34%. Those are exceptional numbers for manufacturing. But perhaps the most impressive shift is the balance sheet. The company moved from being heavily leveraged to almost net cash post-IPO. That kind of deleveraging in a capital-intensive industry is not common. And it gave the company breathing space exactly at the time when India's solar manufacturing opportunity started accelerating. Then came Q4 FY26, And the numbers were strong across almost every parameter. Revenue grew 62%, PAT grew 89%, full year profits nearly tripled. But the most important part wasn't revenue growth, it was margin expansion. Despite scaling rapidly, EBITDA margins improved from 31% to 34%. Normally, when companies expand aggressively, margins get pressured. Here, the opposite happened. Why? Because utilization levels improved dramatically. Cell utilization around 43% earlier in FY26, 79% in Q4, and 85% in March. That matters because once expensive manufacturing lines begin operating efficiently, incremental revenues start flowing disproportionately into profits. That operating leverage is now becoming visible. And the order book also almost doubled to 9.4 gigawatts, meaning visibility is improving alongside profitability. The earnings call revealed where management wants to take this company next. First, the Devanahalli expansion remains on schedule. After completion, module capacity rises to 16.3 gigawatts, cell capacity to 8.9 gigawatts. Second, the company is moving toward newer G12R architecture. Again, management appears focused not just on scale, but future-ready scale. Third, management remained confident about maintaining high utilization levels. And in this industry, utilization efficiency directly impacts profitability. Fourth, the company signed long-duration supply agreements extending till 2030. That gives much stronger long-term business visibility. But the biggest discussion during the call was something else: backward integration. Because this is where the story potentially changes from a good growth company into a strategic manufacturing story. The real story is backward integration. To understand this properly, we need to understand the solar value chain. It works like layers: polysilicon, then ingots, then wafers, then cells, then finally modules. Most Indian companies participate only at the final stage, which means a huge portion of value addition still happens outside India, mainly in China. EMMVEE already moved one level deeper by manufacturing cells internally. Now, the company wants to move deeper again into wafers and ingots. And that is potentially transformative because wafers are still largely imported. If EMMVEE manufactures them internally, supply chain dependency reduces, import costs reduce, margin control improves, and strategic positioning strengthens significantly. In simple words, the company captures a larger portion of the industry economics for itself. And that's where this story becomes very interesting. The policy angle. Now add government policy into this equation. India wants to reduce dependence on imported solar components. That's already visible through ALMM regulations. ALMM 2 benefited domestic cell manufacturers because government projects increasingly required domestic sourcing. Now the market is watching the possibility of ALMM 3, which could eventually favor domestically manufactured wafers too. If that happens, the companies already building wafer capability could gain enormous advantage. That's why investors are watching EMMVEE's integration roadmap so closely. Because timing matters. Being early in a policy-supported industry can create very powerful long-term positioning. Now the risks. But this is not a risk-free story, and it's important to say that clearly. Wafer manufacturing is extremely capital-intensive, technology-intensive, execution-intensive. The capex requirement itself is massive, which means leverage may rise again in future expansion phases. And execution becomes absolutely critical, because in manufacturing, poor execution can destroy economics very quickly. So this story now depends less on market excitement and more on management execution over the next few years. We will have a look at the valuation. Despite all this, the stock still trades around 17 PE. That's surprisingly low compared to several peers, especially for a company delivering strong earnings growth, high margins, and aggressive expansion. So clearly, the market still remains cautious. And honestly, that caution is understandable because investors are waiting for proof that the next phase of integration can be executed successfully. If management delivers, today's valuation may eventually look very cheap. If execution struggles, the risks from large capex become meaningful. That balance is exactly why the story has become so interesting. Technically, too, the stock has had an interesting journey. After listing at 217 rupees in November 2025, the stock initially corrected sharply. Classic IPO pressure. But after Q4 results, momentum returned strongly and the stock touched nearly 300 rupees. Currently, it's consolidating around 259 rupees. Key support 235 to 240 rupees. Major resistance 275 to 300 rupees. Structurally, the chart still remains positive above major moving averages. The shareholding pattern is also interesting. Promoters' families still hold around 80% of the company. Domestic mutual funds hold about 7.6%. FIIs currently hold just around 2.5%, and retail investors own roughly 5%. So even today, institutional ownership is still relatively limited, which means the market may still be in the early stages of discovering this story. If you found this analysis so far useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and fellow investors. And if you want to dive even deeper into EMMVEE's business, drop a comment below saying research report, and I'll share a free detailed research report on the stock. The 2030 roadmap. Now let's look at what EMMVEE could become by 2030. Everything we discussed so far, expansion, integration, and policy support, comes together here. Take a look at the chart on your screen. The purple bars show revenue, the amber bars show EBITDA. And one thing becomes very clear. The business is not just growing. Profitability is scaling faster alongside it. FY26 is the base year. 5,000 plus crore rupees revenue, 1,082 crore rupees PAT, 34% EBITDA margins. These are audited numbers. By FY27, module capacity rises to 16.3 gigawatts, cell capacity to 8.9 gigawatts. That positions EMMVEE among India's largest domestic cell manufacturers, just as ALMM2 boosts demand for locally made cells. Then comes FY28. Management has guided towards nearly 3,000 crore rupees operating profit. Even if industry pricing normalizes slightly, overall profitability can still rise sharply because volumes are expanding rapidly. But the real inflection point comes from FY29 onwards. That's when wafer integration starts. Once EMMVEE begins manufacturing wafers internally, margin control and supply chain control both improve significantly. And by FY30, if execution goes well, EMMVEE could look completely different from the company we see today. Larger, more integrated, and strategically far stronger within India's solar ecosystem. Now, one important point on source of the estimates. FY26 numbers are audited reality. FY27 to 28 are largely based on management guidance and JM financial estimates. FY29 to 30 are directional projections based on the company's integration roadmap. They are not guarantees. But the direction of the story is what the market is watching very closely. Now finally, here is the verdict. Business quality, strong with, integrated, high margin, transition to TopCon technology, 18 years of history. Q4 results, beat estimates with PAT 89% YOY. Backward integration, compelling, with EBITDA uplift of 15% to 20% from 5Y29 wafer plant. Valuation, cheap at 17 PE with 80% discount to sector PE at 84. Technicals. Consolidating above all moving averages. Key risks. Monitor working capital. Execution of wafer project. Re-leveraging. The opportunity is large. The risks are real. Execution over fiscal years 27 to 29 is everything. EMMVEE today stands at an important transition point. The company has already shown that it can scale profitably. Now it wants to move deeper into the manufacturing chain and become a far more integrated solar player. And if India's domestic solar ecosystem expands the way policymakers expect over this decade, EMMVEE could become one of the important beneficiaries of that shift. But from here, execution becomes everything. Because this story is no longer just about quarterly earnings. It's about manufacturing depth, technology leadership, supply chain control, and strategic positioning for the next decade. The opportunity is large. The risks are real. And that combination is exactly what makes this company worth watching closely. Do you think India can genuinely build a globally competitive solar manufacturing ecosystem? See you in the next one.